Hello, my name is Mike. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Sister Wives, season 17, episode 15. Sorry for this video being uploaded late again, but I'm finally getting some work done, and they didn't put out a new episode since this past Sunday was Christmas. It's giving me some time to play catch up, and I hope you all had a happy holidays, whatever you may celebrate, Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever else is out there. Listen to the video. I do not know what the host name is, so we're just gonna call her host. Start off sitting down with Cody talking about how the marriage ended between him and Christine and where it stands at this point. They end up watching a clip of the very first episode and what happened. I'm not going to explain the clip as I've already done that in earlier videos. Well, actually, I haven't done that in early videos. I did not start reviewing this show till like episode 3 or 4, but I'm still not going to talk about it because it's going to make this video way longer than it has to be. But that's not the point. And Christine is also watching the clip. And I'll put a picture of the clip so I don't sound like I'm crazy. But after watching the clip, go to Cody and he talks about how he thought that Christine was playing a game and that she wasn't serious when it came to the divorce. Says he thought that she was playing a game because she always plays games. The host asks what type of games does she play, and he says the manipulating, the pouting, and just the complaining in general. And for an example, he brings up a situation that happened around 2 years ago when he was thinking about rekindling his marriage with Mary, and once he had told Christine about that, she absolutely lost it and had a big freak out over it. I refuse to believe that. I don't think that happened because I feel like Christine has always been supportive of the other wives' marriages with Cody. One, because that's her sister wife, then also if he has one marriage in order, it gives him more time to focus on the marriage that isn't in order. Yeah, I just don't think it's true. And then Cody has very selective memory. I also want to go back to the manipulating and complaining and pouting he's talking about. I don't think she does any of that. I think she expresses her concerns with Cody, which was her partner, which that's just supposed to do. Y'all marriage doesn't fail, but it ended up failing anyways because Christine was the only one trying to make the marriage work. Then we go to Christine, and Christine says that never happens as I figured, but then they go into talking about how Cody compared his marriage with Christine to the marriage he has with Mary, and Christine did not like that at all because she wanted to be compared to a loveless marriage to where they're not even friends, they're acquaintances at most. Then Cody was going on this rant at one period of time about how some people just have marriages where, they don't even sleep in the same room. Christine just did not want that type of marriage, and I agree. I'm not married and I have never been married, but I feel like once it gets to that point, why are we even being married? Like, it's the small things that matter, because after one small thing, after another small thing, it goes up into this really big thing and it becomes a bigger problem than just these small little things. Then we go to Mary, and she talks about how she did not like the fact that her marriage was compared to Christine's, or that she was even brought up in the conversation to begin with. She even sees where Christine is coming from, because Christine has even told Mary before that you play along, and she just won't do that. The host ends up asking Mary, does it hurt to just play along? And she says yes, but if it hurts, Mary, why do you do it? Why do you put yourself in the position to be hurt? Most people are going to avoid that, or if they have been hurt in a particular situation before, they won't put themselves back in that position. But I feel like Mary has a codependency on Cody maybe, but that's not the word because they're barely around each other for a codependency to even exist. Circle back around to Cody is talking about how the communication in his marriages are practically terrible. And on top of that, the women tend to compare their marriages to each other, which that is another problem that he has, and that everyone's marriage is going to be different. And I agree, but Cody, you created that problem where everyone's marriage was getting compared because you created an unfair, unequal relationship with some of your wives. One wife has a better relationship than the other because you put more effort when you should really be distributing your effort and time equally, and somehow finding a middle ground. But Janelle, and she says that she knew that Christine was very unhappy for a very long time, and nothing really comes out of that. That was just something short and sweet, and basically confirmation that other people knew that Christine was unhappy. Then we go to Robin, and the host asks Robin, would you be in a marriage if there was no intimacy or no anything at all? And Robin basically says she wouldn't allow that, basically wouldn't give Cody any options, I guess, for like the marriage to get to that point, but that's not what she asked. A yes or no question. It's not a short answer question, it's just yes or no. I take that as Robin saying no, she would not be in a marriage if there is no intimacy or like even a casual friendship, because that's not a marriage. And I wouldn't blame Robin if she said that, but Robin literally gets attacked for everything she does, so I get why she wouldn't give a straight answer. But also, let me say that I'm not a fan or a stan of Robin, so please do not take it as such. Anyways, they go into this conversation about how Cody is attracted to people based on how they treat him. Basically, Robin said that if Cody doesn't get his way, you'll be treated terribly. That's it. Because I've talked about this in many videos before, Cody likes submission, and if his wives aren't submitting to him or they have a different opinion, that's when issues come about. If he can't control them, that's another thing. We go to Christine, and she talks about how it was terrible to hear that her husband was unattracted to her, and it was also like a relief in the same space because it gave her the assurance to leave Cody. Host asks, do you feel your bad behavior made Cody unattracted to you? And to say the least, Christine did not like that because one, she's not a child and she would not like to be treated as such. But Cody likes submission, so of course he would word it that way, and that's how he basically feels. He sees his wives as children and who he can control. He feels like they should submit to him. Submission. This all goes back to submission. Anyways, Christine was happy once the marriage was over because once she got to stop hearing stuff like that and she could just move on with her life without Cody dragging her along. Go to Cody, and Cody believes that his marriage with Christine ended because there was a lack of intimacy and she felt like she wasn't getting what she needed. And because basically the marriage wasn't working, he said Christine called him a coward, and he did not like the fact that she called him a coward. He says nothing scares him but poverty. I don't know whether to laugh at that statement or feel like that's super insensitive, like there isn't thousands and millions of poor people already existing, and if it does ever happen, you'll just be like them. Like, I don't, like, you fear the unknown, but I guess everyone's situation is different, so I guess it's valid, but I don't know, I don't like the way they came out. I don't know, something about that statement was just wrong. Anyways, Cody ended up saying something along the lines like when Christine left the family ended up breaking apart, and basically blaming Christine for why the family was broken, but it was already broken while she was in it, and it's even broken now. So things really changed. So I'm not gonna go deep into that like I have millions of times already. We go to Robin, and Robin says the divorce took a very heavy toll on her because she was holding on to hope that maybe they would work things out and come back as a happy family. But what hope was she holding on to? Because there was no hope in the marriage to begin with. But moving on, the host and Robin end up watching a clip where Christine is telling them for the first time that she's leaving Cody, and after they watch the clip, the host asks, does Robin still consider Christine her sister wife? Robin kind of says yes in a way by saying she can't unsee her as her sister wife, but they never had a relationship or a stable relationship, so like I get it from one point of view, but then I really weren't even friends, so it shouldn't be that hard, but I don't know. They also talk about how she thought that they could have a relationship eventually if Cody was out of the picture, but once Christine had set them down and they talked the second time, she had told Robin that, you know, I would rather not have a relationship at all. At least that's how Robin understood it. Even if Cody is out of the picture, I just don't think Christine wants a relationship with Robin just because there's so much bad history between them. Starting all over would just be pointless for Christine at this point in her new life. The host asks Robin if she could say one thing to Christine, what would she say? And Robin says she wish she had the opportunity to form a relationship with Christine and they could just have a good relationship and have all the funny times that she did with all the other sister wives. I feel like she had the opportunity to do that, but she went about it very wrong. Maybe she did not know how to go about it, but if you're forming a friendship with a new person, have an open mind. You don't have this closed mind about this person and make all these assumptions and complain about them off the rip. Take time to get to know them and vice versa. She also says that she wished that Christine would have let her in, but when you talk about somebody before you even really get the chance to know them, why would they let you in? But basically she just says she wished she had the opportunity to start a friendship with Christine or have a chance to start over. Move on to Mary, and the host asks Mary that did she feel betrayed by Christine once she left family? And Mary says yes, she felt betrayed because she's just not in a relationship with Cody. She's in a relationship with all of them, romantically or not. And I get that, but I feel like if you and somebody have a good relationship with each other, over the trial and tribulations y'all may go through, y'all can still maintain a good relationship, whether that's a friendship, romantic relationship, or whatever. And I'm pretty sure Christine would agree with that because we go to her and she says her and Mary had not had a very good relationship over the years, and eventually they just departed. And they never put any time in to fix it, so it just got very complicated, and Christine just feels best to leave it where it's at. It goes on to say like she's not the perfect wife, she's not the perfect sister wife, but everyone has her breaking point. And the host says something like, we all know what Mary did to ruin the relationship between y'all. I have not watched all the seasons, so I'm not sure what that could have been, or was she just like talking in general, like what Mary could have done to make the relationship complicated? I don't know, I'm not sure. Then the host tells Christine what Mary said about feeling betrayed, and Christine said she figured she would feel that way because she ended a relationship with Mary, she ended the relationship with Cody, because it was just not a safe space for Christine, and when they tried to fix things, it never really worked out long term. And Mary would be nice for a short period of time, they'd be on like good terms, then Mary's back mean and the same old Mary. I 100% got what she was saying, because there are people who are under the impression that they only have to change short term and then they can go back to whatever foolishness they were doing, and they don't really have to put in the effort to change. Like, if you don't want to put in the effort to change, just say that, but don't sit up there and act like you are going to change when you aren't. But we go to Cody, and the host asked him, was he mentally prepared for Christine getting a divorce? Because she brings this up because Robin was just so distraught over it, allegedly distraught. And he was not mentally stable or ready for it at all, and he had felt like he had messed up all his marriages by not going down this road of patriarchy, and felt like that was the cause for Christine leaving him, because he was not in control and have this mindset of like a man of the house or whatever. I think that's simply not true, because no matter what route you may take with your relationship, it's still undetermined whether y'all will work out or not, because y'all can be completely different people no matter what y'all choose to do in your relationship, what y'all choose not to do, and it can still not work out. I do believe whatever road you do choose to take, it can make the marriage easier and just fall in line for where y'all want it to be. But he ends up saying that was a dumb statement, which I'm glad he said, because it was a very dumb statement. I truly don't believe patriarchy would work in a polygamous relationship. There's too many people, too many feelings for just one person to be ahead and say, you know, this is what we're doing and you need to get on board or get off the ship. I mean, that wouldn't even really work for me. Nothing against anybody who has that type of relationship or marriage or whatever it may be. It's personally just not for me. Anyway, Cody goes on to say what he really meant by that is Christine and Janelle ran their will into his, so basically just giving him control and saying like, you're the head of the family, you got this. But I feel like along the road they realized that that just wasn't for them anymore, because Cody and Janelle, and when Christine was married, they got married so long ago that times have changed, and in more modern day times that's not necessarily required or even something you would have to do. Like, women can make it on their own, it's not a dependency thing, and women can make it on their own back then too, so let me not speak of as like they couldn't do anything without a man. As times have gone on, it's made it more easier, more accessible. Anyways, we end up going to Mary. She said she's always seen Cody as the head of family, and she believes they do follow patriarchy to an extent. Because she says that, but she also says that she's a strong, independent woman who doesn't need Cody. And I can kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like you can have those two things coexist. They also strongly fight against each other the more patriarchy you choose to be. And also, she may have only said that she sees Cody as the head of the family, so like she can make him feel special. At this point, she's desperate to get Cody's attention, so. Then we go to Janelle, and she says that she didn't sign up for patriarchy. That's not what they all agreed to, and I found that funny. Not the statement funny, but Cody wanting patriarchy, because I feel like it can't really work in a situation. You literally have 4 wives, or 4 at a point in period in time, and like 18 children. I don't feel patriarchy will work in that particular situation. I feel like maybe it can work with 1 wife, a husband, maybe 3 or 4 kids, but like in his big family, no. Then on top of that, at this time period, most of them are doing their own thing and doing what makes them happy. Then we go to Robyn. She ends up talking about how they're all independently kind of doing their own thing at the moment, but it was not always supposed to be like that. They were supposed to be a family and a unit. But I think honestly they've all just outgrown each other and they need to take the time and get to know the new them and who they've evolved to. I think that's why Kody and Janelle's marriage is kind of like falling apart, like failing, I guess, because he cannot accept for who Janelle has become today, and she's still having this idea that Janelle is the same person she was in like 2004. A random date, but you get my point. Like, he needs to accept the fact that she has grown and evolved, and I guess you can say vice versa for her too, but I feel like she does. So, but we're still on Janelle, and she talks about how Kody tries to make his marriage with Janelle like how his marriage is with Robyn, and obviously that's not working because two different people, of course. I think the expectations are very different as well. Janelle wishes that Kody would see her perspective and just not see Robyn's perspective when it comes to how to be a husband, I guess. And I think it's just what I said earlier, they've just evolved and they aren't working out anymore. Kody needs to stay married to Robyn, let Janelle go, and somehow convince Mary that their marriage is no longer repairable and needs to move on with her life. Kody could just be a fair and halfway decent husband and father. Like, not even fully, just halfway. Because usually most people can get away with being like a halfway decent partner or like a halfway decent parent. Like, you don't have to be amazing, but you do have to be either like at a soccer game every now and again or like fake it till you make it, you know. But Kody's not even trying to fake it. But while I'm speaking of this, please don't take away from this video saying it's okay to be like a halfway decent parent, because it's not. You should be giving your full attention and like full effort to being the best parent or the best partner you can be. I was just saying, like, at least be halfway decent. But moving on, because I went on this rant about being a good parent, we're still on Janelle, and the host asks, does religion play a very big part into the relationship? Janelle says yes. She says also religion is not the only aspect that plays into a relationship, but that is a very big aspect as well though. They stopped the conversation to watch the clip of Robyn saying in her confessional for Christine not to be married to Kody, or she would have to be physical with another man. That's according to their religion and not Robyn. Janelle disagrees with that because Christine is no longer part of their religion, and I believe Janelle has said she never even said that. I'm not sure. This episode aired literally 2 weeks ago, so I don't remember everything. And I do read a script, but I feel like sometimes in my script I leave stuff out, hoping I will just like remember it randomly. But since this is kind of old, I don't remember everything, so please bear with me. But anyways, we go to Robyn. Robyn says she still agrees with her statement that she said about Christine having to be with another man for the marriage to be over. But I feel like this is just a way for them to twist the narrative and say that Christine cheated on Kody. I feel like that's what it's going to turn into. Since they aren't legally married, it's a spiritual marriage. It's the only way to break it. Because in the religion, they believe that the person who you marry on earth is the person who you will be with in the afterlife. Also with your sister wives if you have sister wives. And I find that funny because Robyn's been divorced before. So does that apply to her or just Christine? Because I'm pretty sure Robyn would disagree with she was spiritually still bound to her husband even though she had moved on and decided to be with Kody. I do not know if in their religion that they believe like sex shouldn't become before marriage. I don't know, but in a lot of religions that is, well, you shouldn't have sex before you're married. I may not say a lot of religions, the religions that I know of, because I don't want to offend someone or anything like that. My point is, I just think this only applies to Christine and it's something to guilt Christine. But you cannot guilt her with it because she's no longer a part of the religion. I have yet to watch this week's episode, so I'm hoping in this last episode they go into a little bit of a deep dive about why Christine left the religion, what led her to leave the religion, because I always find stuff like this interesting, why people choose to leave their religion. Because I feel like it gives everyone to have an opportunity to speak on their experience, whether good or bad. I believe it creates a sense of honesty between people. Some people who are open-minded and listening to other people's experiences, because I don't think it's fair just because you had an amazing experience that someone else can have a bad experience, and vice versa. Just because you had a bad experience doesn't mean some people can't have a good experience. I really just think specifically with religion, it's all about how religion came into your life and how the value of it determined your life and what has happened for you. But this is not a rant about religion, this is about sister wives. Moving on, we go to Mary, and Mary and the host watched the clip of Cody saying he no longer considers himself married to Mary. This was kind of sad to watch because Mary was absolutely trying to keep her best face on, but I can see that really hurt her when Cody said that. I believe she was aware of it because her and the host talked about how Cody doesn't even call her on their anniversary. And I think hearing him say those words really made it real for her in that moment. They also talk about how they have yet to clarify to the public where their marriage stands and say like they're separated or like they don't consider themselves married to each other. Cody says because of the shame and embarrassment he'll get from it. Personally, I can respect people who just come out and say what their situation is instead of trying to sell an illusion that we can obviously see as an illusion. I think also it's a way of still having Mary attached to him just in case everything else fails, he still has Mary. I think that kind of plays a part into it, and maybe he sold her the idea that they can get back together and will get back together off camera, but honestly I'm not sure with Cody because he will say one thing then do a completely different thing. But then the host tells Mary that there was a point in time where Cody thought about rekindling the relationship between them, and Mary did not know that. She ends up telling Mary the time where that happened was when it was their 17th or like 20-something anniversary, I don't know, child. She had gave him the amount of Rice Krispie treats of how long they had been married. There was the moment where he felt like maybe this can work out, especially because they were homemade and she had put so much time and effort into them. The host ended up telling her that Christine had a big freak out over and was not okay with it, and like I said, I don't believe that, and I'm just gonna leave it at that so I don't get ranty. After the host tells Mary that, Mary says ironically enough that day, it's like, I'm not coming to you anymore, I'm not talking to you anymore, and just like basically ending their marriage at that point. She had ended up wrapping her arms around him and had asked him, what would you do if I were to kiss you? And Cody was very hesitant and did not seem open to it, like his body would not physically let him do it. Of course he ends up going home, telling Christine about rekindling the marriage and all that stuff. I hope Mary doesn't believe that, or like the host comes back and tells her what Christine said. I think Cody is lying. There is no way you thought about rekindling the marriage after what happened in the car and you wouldn't even kiss Mary. I refuse to believe that. But anyways, that's where the episode ends. Sorry this video is 2 weeks late, but it's getting out, so that's all that matters. But like, comment, subscribe if you want, and bye.